odd interaction. I can't give way too many details about it. For my response was pretty much the same for all of them. Was that the only thing that gets better is how you respond to that situation. As long as you're working, you're doing well.
And if you can just stay smiling through all of the good, bad, and uglies, you're gonna come out better. Welcome back to the Corner Barn. I am Chris Thompson, and today I have Mr. Jeff Cheney. He and I met by happenstance. I got a call from a really old friend of mine that they had a property that had a really big tenant issue, and I'll let Jeff tell you all the details on that fun stuff. But Jeff and I met by happenstance through a mutual client, and the man does good work. If you didn't know, he is a contractor. I've seen his work. It is phenomenal. Jeff, how you doing today, buddy?
Thank you very much for having me, Chris. I'm doing great, and I know earlier we were talking. You seem to be doing well yourself.
Life is good.
Well,
Life is good.
yeah, it's. I mean, if you're not busy, you're not doing your thing. Yeah, I think you were
Hey,
born to work.
exactly.
That is what God put you on this earth for. Whatever facet you're doing, as long as you're working, you're doing well.
Love it.
And that just simply goes back to whether or not you're putting the world back better than you found it.
Couldn't agree
Yeah, I
more.
mean, I'm a contractor. So Custodial Work Resources is a commercial cleaning company, but we also have our contracting side as well. Licensed in Maryland, and we focus on Montgomery, PG, and Howard County. But obviously, being licensed in Maryland, we can do work all over. But those three counties, we stay pretty centralized too. And as Chris stated, that we actually, yeah, we met on a very odd interaction. I can't give way too many details about it for client stuff, but
Like confidentiality, right?
yeah, but we'll just put it to you this way: every opportunity there was for a curveball, we got it, and it was hoop after hoop after hoop, five different layers. Not only was because this was a condo, so not only was it the homeowners giving us instruction, but it was also the association. It was some legalities outside of the association, and um, well, I guess I can probably say this, but an
But here,
unclaimed.
you may not be able to say it, but I can. It
Okay,
was a biohazard mess
yeah, an
inside this unit.
unclaimed body, I
Yep.
guess. Uh,
And for
if
everybody
we have
watching, you
that
can
one,
use your imagination to how fun that
yes,
was.
sure. But yeah, it was great work, and you and I we worked phenomenally well together. I don't think there was really any hiccup whatsoever, and you're a person that just simply asks for communication. So as long as you're being honest and open with your communication, then it seems like we're going to continue to do work together. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
No,
I
and
mean,
that
I've
was the
come to
big
know
thing.
you.
Half the time I didn't even have to ask for an update because it was already sitting in my inbox waiting on me. I'm like, oh hey. I remember one time I did text you and I was like, hey, what's going on with this? And you're like, hey, dude, check your email. Like, oh yeah, that's set 2 hours ago. My bad. We're good.
Yeah,
Thanks,
it's
buddy.
okay. It's okay. Yeah, I'm a firm believer in a job isn't complete until you inform the other party. So if we continue to do that, then we're gonna have a great relationship together for a long time. And
None of that.
I hear you're doing extremely well too. So actually, before this, the last call that we had was about 30 seconds long. So I haven't had too much opportunity to ask you exactly what you're doing aside from fishing, because I know that's a hobby that you love. I
Indeed.
don't share it with quite as much enthusiasm, but I do enjoy fishing. So, how are you doing? What's the stuff going on your end?
I am doing well. The retail game, I call it retail, but helping buyers and sellers has been phenomenal. July closings felt honestly like it was 4 years ago. Life was great. Everything was greased, but that just falls back to everything I did in May and June essentially paid off in July. So it's always, the ebbs and flows of self-employment, of real estate. Sometimes there's plenty of stuff going on, and sometimes there's nothing going on.
Yeah, fair point.
Just working on cleaning up my portfolio. Went to look at a couple of new properties potentially, or for potential offers. I think the first one's going out today. And I just had a big TV interview last week on Channel 9, so that was cool.
When does that come out?
Yeah. The
When
just
does that come out?
talking about investing,
Okay.
really just kind of high level basics of, build your buy box, find your markets, figure out what type of landlord you want to be, and the 70% minus repairs of here's how you should make an offer, so on and so forth. But a quick little 5-minute clip with one of my lenders.
Really cool. Is it already produced? Were we able to see it?
Yeah, it was actually live last Thursday, and so it'll post tomorrow.
Really cool.
This video will certainly post a whole lot later, but it'll be on my channel.
Awesome. Very, very good. Um, we also share, so Chris didn't say this, we share the love for sushi. Love that.
Oh yes,
Can put a whole boat down, no problem. So we are due for one of those
we are due. It is. What do we call those marketing meetings?
marketing meetings. Yeah, it's an expense. You can write that
Indeed.
off. Absolutely. But one thing you did say that's been a common theme over the past like 3 or 4 weeks or so. I've been meeting with quite a bunch of people, and one of the themes that keeps coming up is I hope that this gets better, right? I hope that entrepreneurship, I'll be able to control XYZ. And everybody had a little bit different reasoning for why
Mhm.
they hoped something got better. But that common thread, just I started looking through why they were asking the questions, and my response was pretty much the same for all of them, was that the only thing that gets better is how you respond to that situation. So as someone who is self-employed, that is all you have to work on. And the people that spend more of their time working on their response to said problem, how well you pivot, what it is you do dealing with your client, if you handle that with a lot of grace, you will continue to get more business, and people will gravitate towards you naturally just because of the way that you respond.
Yeah.
So that is a common thread that I've been seeing. I don't know if you've been seeing it on your side, but I know specifically dealing with clients and seeing 30, 40 houses and trying to corral all of those issues. We deal with those issues, I think, similarly. Just they show their head a little bit different.
Yeah, no, I think that's perfect. And to that point, you can't really change the outcome, especially if it's not in your control. The only thing you can control is, as you just said, how you look at it, how you perceive it, how it is, what's your perception of it, and go from there. And if you
Yep.
can just stay smiling through all of the good, bad, and uglies, you're gonna come out better.
Yep. I had
Just,
another
you know,
client actually. This was a week, just about 2 weeks ago, where they first contacted me. They have some termite damage. Um, it's pretty bad, but they have this plan. They came up and they're like, hey, we have X amount of dollars that we need to spend on this type of renovation, and this is the time frame that we want to do it, and here's what we're looking at. So of course we have to demo some stuff. That I don't do pest. I don't have the license in pest control, so they have their people that take care of that. And that needs to get done clearly. But I started looking at a lot of the stuff. We, took out the drywall, took out some paneling, took out some of the framing downstairs in the basement, and lo and behold, there's water intrusion. There's a sinking of one of the corners of the house at the stem wall, and we're looking at it and we're saying, I know that you have this money allocated for this, but why don't you spend however much time you need, talk with me about some of these issues that you continuously have uncovered over the past X amount of months. And they started going, this and that, and they went through it. I mean, I was with them for literally 3 hours, them telling me all their problems.
gosh,
And so, as you can imagine, 3 hours of problems is a lot more than the original budget that they described. And
well,
then you have to understand this, like, all right, what is it that is most important? Are we spending time stopping the water coming into your house and fixing the structure to make sure you actually have a house before we get to the cosmetic side of things? And as you know, being in any type of sales, which is majority of what we do is self-employment, there's what you can say to get a sale and what you should be, which is honest all of the time, and come up with a plan that is most expeditious for them resolving their problem. And even though it's not exactly what they were looking for, if that client is going to consistently bash their head in about the stuff that you say and not take any advice from you, well, you know what? For the self-employment individuals out there, that client's not for you. And for the clients out there, then you know what? Go find your contractor that's going to lie to you and take your money, because there are contractors out there that will do that. We will not. And at the end of the day, they were very appreciative of it. And in fact, we continue to get calls from them. And I say this as, the relationship started a couple weeks ago, but the calls are much more along the lines, okay, like what is the game plan? What can we do to fix this? How what is your expertise, or what do you suggest on this? Rather than coming in and saying, hey, here was our game plan, this is what we're going to do. I would like to give some attribution to them and say, you know what? They're pretty logical individuals, so that does help. But it's just, it's the pivot. It's how you work with your client. And if you're honest all the time and you give them a reasonable game plan, almost always will they do business with you. And for those who don't want to do business, it's okay. Not all money is good money, and you shouldn't bash your head, because there will be many opportunities out there.
And let me get this straight. Did you just say honesty and explanation are the two top things to work with a client and they'll actually want to do business with you?
Yeah, pretty much.
That is such a I couldn't even finish that with a straight face. But yeah, it's sad that that has to be, thought of in today's world of everyone's just trying to make a buck. But if you do it the right way, your phone's going to ring more and you live off of referrals.
Yep.
This month, I have now been a licensed agent for 20 years. I'm still trying to figure out how that happened and where the last 20 years disappeared to, but I wouldn't be in business still and living off of repeat clients and referrals. That math just wouldn't happen. So it's a beautiful thing that it's really just being a good person and doing a good job. That's really all it takes these days, and it's sad that that's all it is as well. But that's kind of where we're at.
You see
So,
it, and I mean, I'm starting to see a little swing back into the honesty and the honor. I personally am. I don't know if you are, but it is good to see. But one thing I think is a really good accomplishment, because CWR has been around for almost 33 years next month. And it was good because over the past 2 months, I've seen many more people respond to me with, I love your brand, which is a lot better than saying, I love you individually.
yes.
Or I love, what you did with this particular deal, or whatever. Because when you say, hey, here's a brand, then they know that the way that you do business, or the way that anybody does business, it ekes into all the crevices of how your business is run. So at any point in time, any one of the people that go out of your office or go to a property or handle a problem, or there's something that has to be constructed or cleaned on a janitorial side, they know that they're going to be handled with the same type of care as if I, the leader of the company, would go out and say, hey, he's going to handle it. So it's a very, very good accomplishment, I would say. It's not a numeric or something that you would consider necessarily tangible, but I'm a big behaviors guy, and if you really focus on the proper behaviors, everything else falls into place. And behaviors are predictive. They're not historical. Numbers are always historical. Almost always are historical. And so if you focus on behaviors as a prediction, then you are going to spend more time in happiness because you know that your hard work actually has a formula, rather than having to worry and, oh, this isn't going to happen. And as you mentioned, about 10 minutes ago, the wave of entrepreneurship, it happens. So that's how I live my life. That's how I operate. I believe that everybody has their own space, and even you have your own clients and all of that. And if you spend too much time worrying about things that you never got, then you will lose more than you get.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So now it's probably a loaded question, but what would your, typical client be? Um, just
So I mean,
kind of just
sure.
wrapped in a nutshell. Is it, hey, I just want to do some paint and carpet? Is it my foundation's falling apart? Is it storm damage? Is it
Sure.
hazmat? Which
Sure. So, just to give it is a loaded question too, clarification. So we have a commercial cleaning company, and then we have the construction company. So commercial cleaning, we focus on all common area space, apartments, restaurants, industrial, anything that's common area. So we don't go into unit, we don't go into homes. That's not what we do.
Gotcha.
And then the construction side, most of our work is interior. So painting, carpet, anything you can think interior. We don't focus on additions. We can do decks. That's not what we focus on. But the reason for that is the type of work that we do. We don't mind the legal paperwork in between, dealing with either like an association or building owner or going in unit on something. It is a headache, but that's our lane. We seem to do really well in that. And we're just going to continue to focus on it, because not only do I think we do good work, as well as our reviews are very good, but we also have the fortitude and the wherewithal administratively to handle those problems without making something that's already complex even more complex. Excellent. So yeah, there's your loaded question. I hope I answered it well.
You did. You handled that one well. Now you are also a real estate investor, is that correct?
No, I am not a real estate investor. I do like the game of real estate investing, and I understand it pretty well. But I think maybe where that question was going was, are you going to do business with me so I can help you invest in real estate? Sure, I will start doing business with you. How about that one?
I wasn't going there, but I like your answer.
Okay.
No, for anybody watching, I host a monthly mastermind for real estate investors. We've been trying to get Jeff out there because he is interested, but he's been so busy lately that he hasn't been able to show up in the middle of an afternoon on a Saturday. Go figure.
You're right. Go figure is correct. So I think what we need to do here is just ask for the business so I can get more busy. I'll hire someone that can do what I do, and then I'll show
Now
up
we're talking.
all the time.
Now we're talking. I like it.
That's awesome.
So more of an inspiring real estate investor. I like it.
There you go. So tell me more about the mastermind.
So the mastermind, I named it Who Not How. One, because I love the book. Phenomenal book, and I highly recommend it to anybody and everybody that wants to read it. And then also, I come in with no agenda, no plan, no speakers. I mean, we've had some speakers from time to time, but generally just kind of open forum. And there can be, just this past Saturday, we had very seasoned investors, other agents, brand new investors, people that have been in the game for a while and looking to get their first deal. So kind of just throwing everything out there. By no means am I the greatest investor ever. I've done a lot of trial and error. I think a lot more on the error side, but that's how we learn. That's how we grow. So if I can help somebody avoid the same mistakes that I've made, whether it's one or 10 of them, they can hopefully scale faster than I've been able to. So one of the reasons I do it is because I like to help people. I've got a ton of experience. I've got a ton of knowledge. I don't have all of the answers, but someone generally does. For example, a brand new newbie asked me a question that I didn't know the answer to. Somebody else there did actually know the answer to it. So that just kind of brought it full circle of it's who, not how. If I need to solve a problem, who do I need to connect with, not how do I need to figure this out? Well, the how you need to figure it out is the who.
Yeah, that's fair.
And, on average, we're probably 6 to 10 people every month. Sometimes it varies. Sometimes we've only had one or two, and other times we've had 15, 20, 30 people. It just who shows up, great, we're there to help.
So I have not read, I'm a pretty big reader. I have not read Who Not How, but you were the second person in 6 days to bring that book up.
It's a great book. Joke.
So
it will certainly help shift that mindset. And if you're like me and you have that entrepreneurial, I need to do everything myself disease, that book will help a lot.
So I wouldn't say that I have that with everything, but there is a point that you say, all right, how can I make this better, or what can I do? There's an internal question that for just anything that I'm in, the people that I look for to work with me have to have that same type of questioning. Or am I going to do an internal inventory prior to me going out or my team going out and saying, you didn't do this right, or you didn't do this right. Okay, well, what is it that I did first that may have caused this breakdown in communication, so on and so forth. So I know it's not the same exact thing, but I think from what your description is very much the same premise on how you get to that point. And I will say that I'm probably 70-30 on no, let somebody else do it. Only reason because there isn't enough time in the day, so you just have to figure it out, right? But yeah, there's still a little of that streak in there for me. Well, maybe I should take a look at it.
Right.
But it
Well,
happens. It does happen from time to time.
I'm jealous. I'm getting better at it, but I'm still jealous.
Yeah, well, we're all on the same trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody hits it a little bit earlier. I'm sure there's something that you're really good at that I just couldn't hold a candle to. Like
Fishing.
We've already talked about that. Yeah. Yeah, there's no shot. Hey, if getting me on the water firstly, that's just that's hurdle number one. And then after that we'll figure out the whole casting the rod and putting the bait. It's not my thing.
Oh yes. It is an acquired taste, that is for sure.
Oh, you can catch.
I've been in plenty of water that was way too big and a boat that was way too small, and it's like, oh, are we gonna make it back? I don't know. Let's figure it out. Knock on wood. That's not real wood. That is. Yeah, no, I've made it back every time. So that in and of itself right there is a win.
So what are some of the biggest hurdles that you go over in the real estate game? And I know you said that you built your entire business pretty much solely on referrals.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the biggest hurdles that you go through when getting either into a new market or dealing with a new set of customers that aren't part of that circle?
Right. Oh, that's a good one. Ultimately, staying on top of marketing, staying in front of them without annoying them. Because out of sight, out of mind, and ultimately, if it's not going to be a good fit, then as you said, it's not going to be a good fit no matter what. And I've had referrals that it wasn't a good fit. I've either made that decision or that client made the decision. But the biggest hurdle is staying front of mind and staying in front of people. So one of the things I do, as I think you and I have discussed previously, is a ton of social media posting. That's where most of the eyes are. So that's kind of where that's where I dump my time and my efforts. But I post on average about 52 times a week across 5 platforms. And then quarterly, I do a printed newsletter as well. And that gets mailed out every quarter. And using technology to my advantage, I have a great AI guy. I have a hard enough time spelling AI, so we just let the pros handle that stuff. And he's put something together to where we can now digitize that newsletter and email and text it out to everybody as well. Seemed to be working pretty well. We're just getting it off the ground, but being able to, whether they're calling, as long as they get that piece of mail, hey, Chris Thompson Real Estate, Chris Thompson Real Estate. The whole goal to the marketing is when someone's ready, let's do business. But if they don't remember me, then they're not going to want to call me.
So I had a really, speaking of AI, because obviously it's aiding a lot of people. I mean, this is central conversation of everybody every day, anywhere you go, about how it can assist you. And I don't know what your anecdotal response or what you're getting, but it's probably more than 80-20 people afraid of AI than anything. Mm-hmm. And I look at it like this: if you have skills, you're gonna have a job. If you have skills, you're gonna have a job. If we look before, the printing press, I mean, people had to switch from writing everything out or stamping everything and then learn the machine to print. And then it went into computers. And then obviously I'm skipping some steps here, but it went into computers, and then it went from computers to, cell phones. And then now cell phones, then we have AI, but people have jobs. Jobs are there. Yeah. So to say that, people are I think most people are correct that it is going to replace some jobs, but that's just it. It's going to replace jobs. It doesn't say anything about not creating more jobs. And so we keep focusing on we keep focusing on the fact that it's going to replace jobs. So what? I mean, I've changed careers like 7 times. I've changed the careers a lot. I'm in my mid 30s, and it's just like, look, okay, so what? You change, you figure it out, you get it, and then an opportunity comes about, and you show up and you make what you have the best you possibly can, and you don't keep holding on to all this other stuff. So the reason why I bring that up is because I've had that conversation quite a bit recently, and I don't know if you share the same sentiment, but I'm not necessarily afraid of it, and so I was just curious on your thoughts with it.
I'm not afraid of it. I think it's another useful tool. And depending on who you listen to, media, social media, interest media, whatever you want to call it, there's a lot of doomers out there. Is it going to cancel some jobs? Yes, I think so. In the same process, it's creating new jobs. We don't necessarily know what all of those new jobs are. But if you think back to your point, like the Industrial Revolution, prior to that, everybody was a farmer.
Yep, pretty much.
And even farming itself, everything used to be done by hand. Now, a lot of it's mechanized. So, but they're still farmers. There's just, less needed right now, I guess. We'll save that soapbox for a different day. But
Yeah, you do
uh,
this every Monday, right?
yeah. So, I think it's a great tool. I think it's still too young to know what it's going to cancel and what it's going to create. I do think that there's a oversized bubble in it from some of the research I've done. And I, I'm kind of nervous to see what blows up. A great example that I heard was talking about the steel industry when American steel, I think it was like the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
was, the stuff and great priced, or it started going up in price because there was no competition. Then China came in and just dumped a bunch of cheap steel everywhere. Now it also had a lot of issues, and take that for what it is, but it killed the American steel industry. The super high level, amazing AI with all the security and everything. Yeah, that's still going to be, your corporate stuff that people need that. But your basic mom and pop, like I use a lot of AI to create thumbnails for my YouTube videos. I can use a Chinese knockoff, not necessarily that I want to, but if just say ChatGPT is 20, 30, $50 a month, there's a Chinese model that pretty darn close for $10 a month. I don't need that high level security, so I'm probably going to use that knockoff. And I think that is kind of a powder keg that we're sitting on in the AI space at a very high level of, if this goes up in smoke, there's going to be a lot of money lost.
I hear you. I definitely hear that point. For me, I mean, we use AI. Most of it's expediting like proposal processes and things of that nature. But I just see it internally. I mean, I think we're pretty proficient on how to use it. It is still young. There's a lot more tools that can be developed and added and changed around. But I will tell you this: even with the large jump that we've seen in the past couple of years, it is absolutely necessary to have human eyes on it, 100%. And I don't think that that's going away for at least a decade. I know some people say, "Oh, well, it's going to do this, it's going to do that." Yeah, sure, but you need to have human eyes, because one thing that it's not going to be able to see is pivots. One thing it's not going to be able to see is how you need to have a change in creativity. You can use all the data you want, but creativity, you have to create something from nothing,
Right.
and all that is inputs and outputs. So like I just don't foresee that happening in the anytime in the near future. I don't think it's going to be completely autonomous in any way, shape, or form. I think that it will give us a run for our money, but I don't think there's going to be complete autonomy.
Right. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, to your point, most people right now don't understand it enough and or how to use it. So they're basically using it as a glorified Google search.
Yep.
I'm guilty of that on plenty of things because it's easier to push a button on my phone, speak into it, and then it spits back out what I was looking for, and I didn't have to read 4 different websites to figure something out.
Yeah. I
It's
gotcha.
it's a great tool.
It is. It
Now
is. Yeah.
I
You definitely
utilize
makes things
AI in
faster.
the business a lot more, but I brought in AI thinking that I was potentially going to replace my assistant. All it did was just amplify what my assistant can get done in a day. So I went in like, okay, well, this is going to be this, and then, okay, well, I can scale the admin back because I'm not going to need her as much. It just amplified how much faster she can do things to where it streamlined the business.
So you're getting to the finish line faster, really.
Mhm.
And I say finish line because in our deal it's like you hit one finish line, but then there's another one.
Yeah,
Then another one.
if there's not more
Yeah,
finish
yeah,
lines
right,
coming, then we're in
right,
trouble.
right. That was first heat. Now we got another one. Now we're going to semifinals. So I just, that's the anybody who's listening to this, I'll just, I mean, I guess we're gonna wrap it up here, but like anybody who's listening to this, entrepreneurship is not for everybody, but everybody should try entrepreneurship to get a better understanding of exactly what it takes to be successful. And that success isn't in a vacuum either. It's not to say if you do not continue in entrepreneurship, you will not be successful, because you first have to define what success is to you. And if you get into all right, I was a failure at entrepreneurship, but that could also make you a phenomenal employee, because now you understand exactly what the gaps are. You understand how much is actually going on at the top. Um, Whether you agree or disagree, or there's a little level of indifference there, the fact is you understand it. And when you understand something, it makes it a lot easier to make decisions. It makes you okay. You can accept where you are. And I think everybody should try entrepreneurship at some point, even if it's in a small facet. Like you're saying, hey, I'll do something for 5 hours a week. Let's see it. Let's say the business does all right. Good for you. You can compartmentalize like that. But the more people that spend even a little bit of time in entrepreneurship, I think would be healthy for just people in general. They'll get a better understanding of what goes into how stuff works in this world.
I like it. I like it a lot. Well, Jeff, I appreciate you jumping on here talking to me today. For anybody
Thank you,
watching,
Chris.
if you are looking for a contractor in Montgomery, Howard, or PG, I will have Jeff's information down below in the show notes. And he's a great guy. His work is top notch. And as you can tell, he's fun to talk to. So
Appreciate
thanks
it,
for
Chris.
tuning
You too,
in. We'll
man.
catch you next time.
All right, take it easy.